Hey guys, another video here on a little bit of plumbing. Let me close this door so it doesn't keep making noise. This is a video on how to cut PVC piping, and you're probably thinking, my God, what have we gone to? Things that simple? Well, there's a few options you have with this, and there's a little bit more to learn on what to do besides just cutting a little piece of pipe. First of all, I used to use this, it's a 4-inch grinder, and I used to put a blade on it that would be a grinding blade. The blades would be a little bit thicker, and I would cut galvanized pipe. That's the stuff you see in my basement that's really thick. The metal is like probably about that thick from skin to skin, and it would take me 45 minutes to cut through it. Well, a grinding blade is used to resurface, to sand off the top of a surface. Like, let's say you're sanding off the top of a concrete piece, or you're trying to chip off paint, or you're trying to break down a little bit of the top, the rust on a piece of metal. This is a cutting wheel. It's thin and it cuts through the metal. I can now cut through galvanized pipe in about 5 minutes. It makes the job a lot easier. It's a lot less stressful, and there is a lot less metal pieces flaking off and hitting your body, which doesn't feel good, and you're breathing less metal dust. So I'm going to be using this to cut my PVC pipe, which I've marked on here, right there. So that way I can install this piece underneath my cast iron sink basin. It's the washing machine outflow line, and it'll cut real quick. Now there are a few other options. There are tools you can get. I know there's a hand cutter you can use for PEX piping. I got that at a flea market for $3. Now the cheapest one you're going to get at the hardware store is maybe $10. The nicer ones come at $20. I think they all do the same thing. You could spend as much as $30 for this same item. You can use a miter saw, which is a hand saw, to cut through this. You could also use an oscillating tool, which is basically, it's another machine tool like this, 4-inch angle grinder. This is a 4.5-inch angle grinder. And the oscillating tool will have a little metal piece with teeth on it, about 1 inch to 2 inches wide, and it'll vibrate back and forth, and you can cut through with that. I use it to cut drywall. That's actually a very good multi-purpose tool. I can cut holes for when I install doors and I want the door to go into the wall properly, and for the doorknob. It's really good for that. I used it to cut metal for a security door so that the door would be closing on the other side. So it's a good multi-purpose tool. It's good to have, and you can get that at Harbor Freight for around $20. You can get this angle grinder for around $20. If you go to Home Depot, you can get the same angle grinder. It'll probably cost you about $50. And if you get the oscillating tool, it'll probably cost you around $45. So you'll be paying more, and I'm talking about the low-end prices. If you end up buying high-name brands, you'll pay double. So the same angle grinder could cost you $100, $120. Now, it might be a cordless. It might be a cordless angle grinder. It might run on batteries. But there's a pro and a con to that, because I ended up getting a cordless paint air gun machine. It cost me $160, and it would only run paint for 20 minutes. Well, a paint job could take 2 hours to 6 hours, let's say. It won't last long enough. So I would rather plug it into what I have here is this is a Harbor Freight product. It's called Tailgater, and it is a what do you call these? Generators. They're portable generators. And the reason why I'm using this is because my house has no electricity yet, which is the first project I've been working on with no electricity. You should definitely keep paying your electric bill and keeping utilities on if you have it, because it makes it a lot more stressful now that I have to do a city inspection before I can turn on utilities. So here, over 90 days, and you have to get a city inspection. I don't know what that entails. I don't know if they're going to dock me for things that need to be repaired. So I'm just getting everything prepared and ready before any inspection happens. Now, this is a really cool generator. It probably runs me... It fills a gallon, and you have to put 2.5 ounces of 2-cycle oil in first and then mix it with gasoline. So what I do is I get a container, like a gas can, like this. And I fill it with gas at the gas station. It's a 1-gallon tank, but it'll probably fill like 0.7 gallons or one, I don't know. Like sometimes there's a little bit residue in the bottom, or I don't want to top overfill it. And then depending on, I'll put 2 ounces to 2.5 ounces using a little plastic disposable shot glass that I get from the Dollar Tree. Or I'm sure you could find like measuring cups and then figure out that 1 ounce is about 28 grams, or do a conversion for the tablespoon, because I think a teaspoon is like 5 mils, and then a tablespoon's 15 mils. And then you could figure out that 15 mils is half an ounce, so 2.5 ounces is 75 mils. I think there is a tablespoon that's 80 mils, so it might be a little bit more, but you're getting close enough. The main thing is to mix it before you put it in, because I actually damaged one of my generators by putting the 2-cycle oil in first. Or if you put the gasoline first, then you could put 2-cycle in after that, but then maybe it won't mix properly, and then if the engine dries out and there's not enough oil, it won't crank start. And if you put the oil in first, it'll be too much oil but not enough gasoline, and it won't crank start. So I would recommend mixing it in a gas can before you put it in. This one at Harbor Freight cost me $110. So better to have a good process before you damage any of your really expensive equipment. And these, you can't really return them. They make you call a service center. Any gas related item, you will have a difficult time. They may have a service center, but my other generator was donated to me, so now I've got this. Anyway, hope that helps, and until next time, see you later.